Yo, what's up, guys? It's Talon. Today we're going to be coaching a Challenger Peak Lee Sin player who's currently Grandmaster. At the time of the recording, I think it was Master. So, yeah, basically, if you guys want to know how to go from a Challenger level Lee Sin, jungler in general, not just Lee Sin, to kind of a Sovereign level and what to think about and the mistakes of Challenger level junglers, then definitely stick around for this video. I think it'll be very valuable to you in that sense. If you're interested in getting coached by me, rank 1 Sovereign solo queue player and a 5-role Sovereign, all solo queue, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through the link in the description to my Discord server below. It's $25 for an hour of coaching, and that was really fast. I talked really fast there, so you should like the video because I talked really fast, because why not? But anyways, let's get right into the video. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna start recording then. And so yeah, we'll start with this one. So just tell me like what your peak rank is, your current rank, and like what you're trying to get from the coaching, I guess.
My peak rank is Challenger. I'm right now a Grandmaster. Well, I just want to improve in general, like decision making and how to have more impact in the games. Because I feel like I can farm pretty good gold on average,
Yeah.
but I struggle to use the leads to win the games often. But I assume I don't play team fights good enough, or my decision making in the middle or late game is not good enough. That's what I assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like anything you see what I can improve,
Okay.
just let me know.
Sounds good. And yeah, I don't know if you've seen previous coachings, but basically I'll tell you all of the mistakes I see throughout the coaching, and then I'll write things out for you at the end, so you don't have to like remember everything I say or everything we talk about. I didn't know E starts faster for Lee Sin. I don't really play much Lee Sin.
Yeah, this is like my first game played Lee Sin this season as well. I look after this. I later watched like a video and I saw that there's a better way to clear. I just didn't know at that point yet.
Gotcha. And we'll skip through the clear because obviously there's not much. Oh wait, do you know about the smiting thing to like not level up or to level up faster? It seems like you do.
Like, I'm not sure what you mean.
So if you last hit with your smite when you're full clearing, you're going to hit level 5 if you do all 6 camps and scuttle at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. But if you don't last hit the camps with your smite, like you smite them like you did here, where you smited it at 680 and then your auto attack killed it, you'll get level 5 at 2 minutes and 1 second. So you get level 5 6 seconds quicker if you just don't last hit with smite.
I had no idea. I had no idea that was.
No, I don't know why it works like this. A viewer told me like a month ago, and so now I just try to tell every jungler that I coach, because yeah, I don't know why it's like that. Obviously, sometimes you can't last hit scuttle. It's roughly 2 seconds like faster per thing. So say that you don't last hit with you don't last at scuttle, or you do last at scuttle rather, but you don't last at the other two, you'll get it at about 203, 204. So that's just kind of something to keep in mind. Yeah, and everything with obviously this early game is fine, but actually, something is why wouldn't we path to Draven? Do you start blue buff every game? Is that just what you do?
Yeah, I just because like I watched some videos from some Chinese guys and they are just doing it like this, and I just copied it. I didn't.
So the reason people start blue on a lot of champs is because it's faster, but like, if we look at specific matchups, so obviously Lee Sin, your main goal is to find a lot of early game plays and snowball, like, of course. So you would naturally want to path towards the lane that has higher potential to snowball and higher potential for kills to actually happen. So it's funny I'm telling you this because obviously the kill worked out on set, but Draven and Pyke, like, these are champions who do exactly what you want to do, which is snowball. Pyke has really good early gank setup for you, and obviously Draven is going to be super aggressive in the early game, and you want to play around that. You want to play around his advantage. So typically when you're deciding which lane to start on, you don't just start blue buff every time. Yes, blue buff is slightly faster, but it's not so much faster that it outweighs the negative of like trying to gank a Mundo, which is obviously a hard champion to kill, and you know, Set can't really set up the gank for him because he has his passive, the Mundo passive. So basically you look at how strong your lane is. Obviously you want to typically path to the stronger laner, and then you look at how good their gank setup is. So again, a champion like Pyke, his hook can set up a gank really nicely for you. And then of course you look at how hard it is to gank the enemy. So Ezreal is not the easiest champion ever to gank, but because it's an Ezreal with a Yuumi, if you get one of them, you kill both of them. And then again, Pyke can set it up really easily for you, and Draven is a much stronger early game champion. So for those reasons, you would want to start on red buff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, cool. Good. And yeah, again, since you're actually like a good player, you know, you're challenger or whatever, we're not gonna have. I'm not gonna be telling you every 3 seconds what to do. Most of your early game's gonna be fine. You know, there's just really those two things so far to remember are the last hitting with the smite thing, and then the deciding which lane to path to. Everything else, you know, for the early game is perfectly fine. And this is a little greedy maybe, but maybe it's good. Yeah, I mean you kill him, so. I mean this fight's fine. It's really just about knowing your limits of your champ, and you do that pretty well. This
Yeah.
is yeah okay.
No,
Good, you didn't take it.
I didn't really know. That's the thing. With the champions, I don't have like one champion I play. I play a lot of different ones. Because I kind of get bored if I play one champion too
Yeah.
much. I know it's not as good for climbing, but it's
Yeah,
just
but if it's
I
fun,
just
it's
don't
fun.
enjoy the
Like
game.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
exactly. But that I notice it pretty often that I'm very uncertain if I can make this play or not, just because I don't know the limits that well, because I don't play one champion only.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, if we look at the fight itself, like, I mean, I was a little worried, you know, whether or not you can actually kill, but like how you actually played it, I mean, pretty fine. The problem, I guess, is just the numbers disadvantage. You know, like you have obviously one less person, so kind of trying to force anything is a bit risky without Lysandra being here, and without having your ult and stuff. So I mean, yeah, like you don't have ult, you don't have flash, so kind of like forcing something is definitely a bit greedy.
Yeah.
But it's not like a horrible fight. You know, you do end up getting the kill, but it's probably like a bit much. You know, waiting for Lysandra a bit more and just being a bit patient, like more like say that basically you did everything you do here, but just right now you just sit by Draven. Like if you just sit by Draven and you wait for Lysandra to come, she can set up really nicely for you, and that patience is probably better. You know, in hindsight, this is a bit of a hindsight thing. It's a pretty reasonable choice for you to go in, but it is. I would say that's probably a better action overall. Just like looking at who you have up on the map and waiting until you have like even numbers or until your actual setup rotates. So. I hope you don't recall here. Okay, unfortunate. Why do I say that I hope you don't recall here?
I don't know why.
So you have 3 camps up red side. As we said, we want to play around Draven, right? So let's say that hypothetically Draven and Pyke were bot lane and the Mundo set was top lane. Then I would want you to recall right now, because you would recall, spend your gold, clear your camps, and then you would go gank bot. But you want to probably gank top side because you want to gank Draven. So it's better to go and quickly clear your camps red side as soon as they spawn, recall, and then you have a bunch of time to be top side. Does that make sense?
My logic was because my red buff is only spawning in 12 seconds anyway, so if I recall now, I get items, I can clear my jungle faster, and then I can walk anyways to red side, or does it not
Having
matter?
slightly more gold is not going to clear, like it's going to clear your jungle, like let's say 2 seconds faster. But okay, again, so you want to gank top side. So let's say even let's say it's 5 seconds faster, which I don't even think it would be, but maybe it would be. So let's say it's 5 seconds faster. Well, instead of walking straight here in a straight line, clearing them all as soon as they spawn, because it's 12 seconds, so you'll just clear your raptors or whatever, and then or chickens, whatever they're raptors, and then your red buff will be spawning by then. Like it will be enough time for it to be. So you're gonna just be able to do it in a straight line. It's gonna be, and then you'll recall right after that, and then walk straight top side. But let's say you want to gank top side, but you recall like you do. Now you would recall, walk further because it's a further distance than if you walk straight to it, clear your 3 red side camps, recall again, and then go top side. That's way longer of a distance. So even if it's 5 seconds that you save, you're probably losing 15 seconds from that.
But this only applies if my lane is winning, right? Let's say from the start on, I have a lane like Draven, Pyke, or a winning lane, which is losing, then I change that.
So it's basically, it's not necessarily only about winning or losing. It's about who you want to gank more, and who you want to gank more is often going to be, the same as who's winning, but not always. So generally, yes. And if the Draven and Pyke were the stronger the game champions here, or your winning lane was here with the set, then you would do what you're doing, which is recall and then clear your camps, because then you can gank right after. Does that answer your question or no?
Yeah, that explains it, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and also here now you're gonna get item, and now you're also gonna want to recall, and then you can also see, this isn't really something I anticipated, but you do get invaded because you didn't clear them as fast. Often or otherwise, this would have just been. And then yeah, you're playing around. You're not a strong laner who you can't really do a whole lot with early game. Luckily, Viego instant you almost works out, but yeah. So this does end up working out, luckily. But obviously,
Well, I actually end here because I miss my
oh
I miss
damn.
my Q.
No, that's just the Krug's fault. The Krug inted you. Like it shouldn't have been there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world. It's still. But yeah, obviously you give a shutdown. And again, yeah, you're playing around, again, like Draven isn't strong here, right? So unfortunately in this game, you don't have necessarily super strong people to play around. But it's Draven. So like you get Draven a kill alongside Pyke. Even if Ezreal looks strong early game because he's like 3-0 and he is relatively good early game, you can make up that difference just by being there, and because Ezreal's not like, he's not a Draven early game. And then also, like, you want to try to make plays with your Lissandra whenever possible because she's kind of stronger and she has good setup. So you definitely want to be pretty focused on, like, whenever the mid rotates, that's when you're kind of playing around things. Like, even here, again, and this is something which would take a decent amount of awareness, but, like, your Lissandra is rotating. Like, your goal is really just to keep that guy there, not to necessarily need to, like, force the fight itself because she's coming. So if he's just here, then it's fine. But instead, you take kind of the riskier outplay. So I would just say awareness of, like, when you have these roaming mids, awareness of where they are and trying to play a bit more heavily around them as well, especially when they're the one who is strong on your team.
Okay, I see that. Yeah. That's something I don't do at all. I pretty much don't pay attention to my teammates at all. I don't know. I got disappointed so many times. I kind of stopped doing that, but I should do that probably.
Yep. And I was gonna say, yeah, you shouldn't walk bot. Obviously, your top camps are what are spawning, so you want to walk here. Which
Yeah, I just was. Was distracted. I was just.
Makes sense. I never use that map thing, but I really should. The one where you can, like, path directly to a lane. Like, you don't have to hold your.
Yeah, but usually when I'm busy, when I'm, like, I don't know, cleaning my hands or drinking something.
This is good, obviously. Yeah, I mean, obviously mechanically you're good. Your early game overall is good. This really just. Again, I just kind of reiterate the things throughout, but basically, it's the random spiting trick. Good thing to keep in mind. Pathing towards a stronger lane, and then playing around the stronger lane throughout the game, as well as playing around mid rotations when possible. Because obviously, like, a 4v2 is way easier than a 3v2, so we want that whenever possible. But it depends on your mid. Sometimes your mid's an Orianna who's going to AFK early game. And then you just kind of have to deal with that. I hate the blue buff thing. It says it's spawned, but it takes 3 extra seconds to. It's so stupid because the red buff doesn't do that. I don't know why they've never, like, fixed that. But
I also keep getting baited by that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind you going here. Yeah, like, you really have either option. I mean, you don't have any winning lanes, so for me, I kind of want you just doing these with the sense of, like, I'm trying to get one, and then if the enemy contests, I'm probably just gonna leave. Like, kick them, try to smite it, and leave. You're not really trying to fight here. So, like, again, your goal is not to fight here. You're literally just trying to burst this down. And again, this is the problem. Like, I don't want you playing for these fights. Your team's not that strong. You're just trying to get this and get out. Going in and kind of forcing all this is quite risky. And so, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to end up getting it at least. It's not a bad outcome, to be honest, but I don't really want you to play for the fight at all, because realistically, like, you should just die here when you just go on this guy. Like, it should be. I guess your Lissandra does do a good job of ulting, so it's not as problematic for you, but then she doesn't have her ult, she gets shut down, it's just all kind of messy. And yeah, when we're early game and both our laners are losing, we're not really playing for a bunch of fights. We're trying to play on the opposite side of the enemy as much as possible to just create comeback angles. So again, going for that objective's fine. You burst it. If they end up coming, you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna try to smite it and leave, and then you go back to your camps, and then you want to try to create, again, just as many comeback angles as possible. So by, like, again, going away. Okay, the mechanics are unfortunate there.
I misclicked. My flash is so close to my other abilities, but I haven't found a better setup either. Because I'm playing on an iPad and it's, like, very big. It's hard for me to, like, place the buttons better.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's all a preference thing, really. I used to have my my flash in a place where I would misclick a lot, so I eventually moved it, but I still misclick every once in a while. That happens. Okay, so again, what did I say your goal is when you're behind in a game, typically?
Well, I just want to farm and try to get ahead and go
Well,
as much as possible.
so yes, but to obviously if you're behind and then you just keep farming, you're probably going to stay behind. Like there's what I'm trying to say is you want to play on the opposite side of the enemy as much as possible. The enemy jungler. So when you're behind, you want numbers to be different across the map. So say that there's 4 people top and 1 person bot on the enemy team. You want 2 people bot and 3 people top. You don't want 4 people top and 1 bot because then you're matching them. And if you're behind overall, then and you have all losing lanes, then they're going to continue to lose on bot. They're going to continue to lose on top because that's what's been happening the whole game. And then their jungler is going to be as strong as you, or at least close to as strong as you, and nothing good is going to happen. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a different difference of pathing, right? So the enemy Viego right now is matched to you. You can see him here. So can you think of anything you could do within, say, the next 30 seconds to a minute to get on the opposite side of him?
I mean, I could try to invade his jungle, but I
It's going to be
just
pretty
thought my
risky when you're
jungle is
behind and you
coming up.
don't... Yeah, like that's going to be pretty hard to do.
Well, my only thing I saw here is that my jungle is about to spawn and just want to quickly farm it and then place the Herald mid lane to get a turret. That was all I thought about you.
Yeah, and Herald mid is a good option. Nothing wrong with doing it this game. But what I'm trying to tell you in terms of creating opposite pathing is basically you do one of 2 things. You're obviously going to clear your camps right now. After you clear your camps, you either immediately walk bot to make a play without, where Viego's still top, or you stay top for even longer and you basically just make him like, you wait till he goes bot. Because obviously, say a minute from now or 35 seconds, he's going to go bot because his camps will be up. He's not going to stay here forever. So since you're currently matched, you do one of 2 things. You either clear your camps and immediately fuck off to the other side, or you stay even longer and you're like, okay, I'll give up my Krugs initially, if he invades right away. You want to do one of those 2 things. You don't want to kind of like clear this, walk up to him, just like go drop Herald mid right now. Because a really good thing that you want to try to do with your Herald is drop it on the tier 2 turret here, if possible, after he goes bot. Like he could go bot and then you could make a play for tier 2 and that's going to get you way more gold overall.
Does
and a
tier 2
possibility
turret give you more gold?
What? Yeah, tier 2s give you more gold than a tier 1 turret overall, like when you kill them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And also they're harder to kill. So not even just that, but they're also harder to kill. So if you have an opportunity to kill them, you should take it. Now, it's entirely possible that you do what I tell you. You try to go topside after you clear your 2 camps. You look for a Herald drop and nothing shows up. And that's fine, because then you'll just go and drop it mid, if an opportunity isn't there. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you want to take the gold that you can here, because right now there's also top wave gold. And we can expect that Viego's probably going to be gone in the next 20 seconds because he's just done everything on his red side. So you could just go and get that top gold for free, but instead you walk mid and immediately drop your Herald. Look how much time you have on Herald. You don't need to drop it right now. Like, you can wait on it. You can utilize the recall. You can make sure you clear your other camp. You can, go get the top gold. You can get way more gold out of this situation. But what you end up doing is, like you drop it, Viego shows himself. You're also like, your tempo is kind of bad because you didn't get your 1 topside camp. You didn't get that top wave gold, and you could have created a big play on topside when Viego leaves. But instead now, also, what's your pathing compared to Viego? Are you guys matched, or are you on the opposite sides?
Well, Viego will go to his Raptors now, and I thought I can steal his blue buff, but that doesn't work out.
Yeah, but he's still matched you overall because he was on his red side. He has his red buff. Like, yeah, maybe he skipped 1 camp, like you skipped 1 camp, maybe. But overall, his red side's been cleared. He's going to go to blue side, which is going to be the same as you. So now you're going to continue to fight him even. Like, yes, you're ahead of him as a champion, but obviously you're going to have even numbers, and your numbers are worse. Like, your champions are weaker right now. So there's nothing good about continuing to be matched. But if you did all the stuff I said topside, then either he goes blue side, and now you're away from him, or he comes topside, and then he's losing out on his camps because his blue side will be spawning. So either way, you're happy about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that.
Cool.
I didn't think about it at all, to be honest.
And so, yeah, that's like basically the general thing is when you're behind, you want to, oh yeah, and this is, and again, even numbers, it's going to be hard, right? Like, this is just how it works when you're behind, and obviously they have a global champion as well, which makes it harder.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it either.
But yeah. So that's kind of the thing. Again, you're not considering mid lane a lot as well. That's kind of the other thing, right? With the Twisted Fate and the Lysandra. You're just not considering them quite enough, which is also making a lot of your plays harder. But yeah, the thing is, when you are ahead, you do the opposite of what I'm telling you. Like, you want the Viego to be on the same side as you. You know, you want the even numbers because you're going to win those fights and you can snowball really hard and you can fuck with their jungle like you're doing here because you're going to have prio. But when you do it, when you don't have prio and you force these invades, even when you had blue side camps up and you had the opportunity to get top gold, you're not going to get as much. And yeah, right, you said the...
yeah, the second part.
There you go. Okay. I guess it went a little further forward, but yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I think it was like,
oh,
yeah, I don't think we really saw what led up to this point, but you got a double kill, so good job. Whatever happened.
Oh, I think that was, I just get the blue buff and I just like, like 5 seconds maybe.
I don't really, yeah, there's like 5 seconds. There's not really anything to talk about there anyway. It's pretty straightforward. And so again, like, wait, I suck at math. Okay, for some reason, yeah, I'm really bad at math. So this is Baron. So I don't even want you to contest Dragon in these types of games too, where you're kind of like you're decently strong still, but your team is not, you know, super strong. You're not just like going to go and win every team fight. Let
do
them
you think, by the way, yes.
Yeah, what's up? Go ahead.
Do you think there's ever a point to play for Dragon at all? Because like what
yeah.
I see when I watch the good junglers, they pretty much always ignore them and just take one. And like, is there ever a situation where I want to play for it?
Yeah. So let's say, so there's never a time where you're going to be like, at the start of the game, you're going to be like, I'm playing for 3 dragons. That's never happening. But what does happen is, say your set gets solo killed twice by Mundo, and you're Draven, you play around them, and they get a really good early kill, and they're ahead 1,000 gold. You're going to probably do Dragon there, because that's just the easier objective to get, because they're way stronger on that side of the map. So you'll get the first Dragon there. And then let's say you continue to be ahead throughout that game. You can play for every dragon because you're ahead in gold and you can continue to snowball and then have those dragons as like a late game kind of insurance. So if your bot lane are winning and your Baron lane is losing and you feel it's way easier to get the first dragon and then you see easy opportunities to get dragons after that without like giving up a Baron or something, then you can do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, again, like the opposite side concept. If they go dragon here, they play around dragon eventually. I just want you concerned with Barons. You're pretty much just going to be concerned with Baron throughout the rest of this game. That's like mostly what we want. Interesting Pyke there. Definitely a unique player. And then also, you don't really ever push out side lanes as a player. Like, grouping mid here doesn't really do much. Yeah, like grouping mid, like you have a dead teammate and you're trying to make a play in mid. It's just like overly risky and unnecessary. And you don't even have your Baron laner here. So even if this works, like this is a really overly risky choice when you could just be hovering bot, for example, with your teammate, waiting for a pick around bot, getting the wave gold. Because you never really get gold from waves. So like your gold per minute is good and you farm like a challenger player. If you want to farm like a rank 1 sovereign player, like Corrupt, for example, you are going to have to play around these waves and whatever as well. You're not going to just be able to get, you know, gold only really from it. And then, yeah, you just like, you lose your flash here. And it's like,
well,
what's up?
Sorry, what I notice when I take waves from teammates, I don't know if it's just because it's low elo, but almost every second game when I do it, my teammates just ping me and they like get angry and troll, or like they really insult me for that. And I am like wondering if, you know, I mean, it's a white play, right? But my team is useless, or my team is completely useless that I take his gold. But then again, if he starts trolling because of this, I'm like wondering, should I do it or not?
Okay, so in order for me to engage with this like fair thing that you're thinking about, like it's a reasonable thought, you have to be able to acknowledge that it's nowhere near 50% of the time. Like you said, every other game, that's an exaggeration. And
for sure. That's
yeah. And so all I can tell you is I have done this all the time. Like I always do this when, you know, I like just to get gold is just how I get more gold. So the first thing is I've done this. I've reached rank 1 in solo queue doing this. Corrupt does this. Another person who's reached rank 1 in solo queue with an insanely high win rate. Valhalla, like any top jungler you list, they all do it. And now I'm never one to say like because other people do something you should do it, but all of these people have climbed and it's been proven to work, and that's why their gold per minute is so much higher. And this was like one of the main things I implemented in my gameplay to go from like being like high elo to getting like rank 1. So it just works for a lot of people. Then additionally, a lot of times they're not mad at you if you do it at the correct time. So for example, let's say you're on the wave 10 seconds faster than your set because he recalled at a bad time and then you took the wave there. So I'm gonna go back a bit. Actually, it was in the first replay. So the times I'm telling you to take gold are not like my set's on a wave, I go and take it as he's farming it. What I'm telling you, and I need to find the specific time at this point, but I'm telling you, because it's kind of like when you could have, yeah, so it's like here when you could have been playing around the top. No one's top lane, you know, no one's getting this wave. Eventually Lysandra will, but like it could have even been farther back, you know, like there was like nobody's gonna be mad at you for going and taking this wave right here, right? Like, do you agree with me? Yeah, like no one's gonna be angry. So these types of angles are the ones where you have to get these waves because nobody's gonna be angry. And then the times where you take it from your teammates are like maybe they're already trolling, or maybe like you really need, you know, your item and the dragon spawns in 20 seconds and you're, you know, 200 gold from whatever. Those are the times where then you'll take it as they're actually on it, but you're not taking it when they're on it. You're just getting there before them because they're not smart enough to go there when they should be there. And if they are smart enough to go there when they should be there, that's when it's okay, because it's like, okay, then I have a good player. They can get some extra gold. I don't have to take every wave because I don't have to carry all by myself. And then also usually the people who like troll, because again, there's a difference between getting mad, pinging you, and then still playing, which that will happen a lot. They will ping you and get mad at you a lot. I mute chat. I don't read their dumb, you know, comments, but they will get mad at you a lot. That will happen. But they will only troll you if they're like already kind of wanting to lose. You know, like people who were they're waiting for one, you know, bad thing to happen and then they're gonna troll anyway. So that's pretty much those are pretty much my thoughts on that. That makes sense?
Okay. All right. Yeah, I understand that.
Cool. And yeah, here like it was mostly about hovering set to like look for a pick. It wasn't necessarily about getting the gold itself, because unfortunately you're just continuing to team fight against the enemy and now you've lost your flash and you don't have your ult up yet, because you kind of just overforced in mid lane, and luckily it does seem to work out decently well, but yeah, unfortunate. You know, still works. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the setup of this fight, there wasn't really anything you did that, you know, was specifically like good in this fight in terms of setting up. It just kind of ended up working out, but again, you're fighting like without, you know, your cooldowns because you blew them earlier by fighting in mid, and luckily the enemy just kind of overextends, so it works out. But and obviously your mechanics are good, so you're gonna play the fights pretty well, which obviously you're gonna win more fights then. I don't know if you really should force Baron with half health without your gold spent, and you know one of your teammates are low health. Like, this is a bit risky.
Yeah.
I probably would have preferred to just recall.
Guess,
because something like this can happen, and it's just kind of messy. And then
now I realized that I cannot do it. Now I go back.
Yeah, and I mean this death from like, and I think he's gonna die, so it's not that bad in the end. But this happens because you had to recall because you didn't reset quick enough. So then you're not on the map to fight, so your teammates can do stuff like this and throw and die, which is like a problem. But again, it works out in the end. You know, it turns out to be a good outcome. But
in this fight before, so
yeah,
what could I have done? Like, I mean, let's say, I mean, we kind of have to like fight, right? If we just give up Baron, that's probably also bad. Like, what could I have done better to actually not just get lucky that my team wins the fight, but actually like, quote unquote, give an impact to the fight?
So the problem with this fight is just the fact that you took it after, like, it's not the fight itself, it's you going in mid and doing what you did beforehand. Like, the fact that you did what you did beforehand meant that you lose your cooldowns, so then you're a lot weaker for this fight. But playing the fight out is fine, like, because obviously this comes up, you're right, like, you have to fight this, like, you're not going to just give them Baron. And then also, like, again, the fact that you're hovering around mid kind of means, like, you take a lot of damage and get quite poked out before. Luckily, Mundo walks up overly far and kind of, you know, gets greedy. But this is what kind of leads to the fight not starting out the way you'd like it to, is you know, getting too poked out and forcing the play on mid. But once you are in the fight, you play it fine. There's nothing wrong with all that.
Okay.
Oh, I can skip past this. We already watched this. Yeah, I think it was like here. And so again, like, I'm kind of more, I guess getting the blue buff is fine, to be honest, but I am more concerned with definitely the Baron side, you know, apart from that. And yeah, you just force it, which is fine. You should be able to get this. I mean, you don't have Draven, so I guess it's maybe a little hard, but And then, yeah, I just kind of want you to focus on pushing top through from this point. See, this is like, you don't need this. This doesn't do anything for you. Right now, you have Baron. You're just trying to push. You're just trying to get to it. Because you have a time period where Ezreal's dead and 3 people are respawning. You want to get your lanes pushed out as far as possible. Getting this blue buff doesn't really help you with anything. Like, obviously, you know, it's nice to have a blue buff for faster energy and whatever, but like, you're not going to just recall and do Death Dance, or if you do, you're kind of troll. Like, again, you don't farm your camps and do nothing in AFK while you have Baron. Like, this is something you can do after you get your push. So you just push top side, because this Ezreal's only going to be dead for 30 seconds, and you're only going to have Baron for a minute and 30 seconds. You know, at that point. So you're trying to get as much value from it, take the standing gold on the map, which is the turrets, get the pressure, and then reset with your team. But when you reset without your team, they're doing everything without you. You know, you're worried that maybe they'll enter, do something dumb, because they do. It's solo queue. And then by the time you get here, you know, everything's already kind of happened. So now it's like you're only 30 seconds, you know, left. The waves aren't pushed as far and that type of stuff. So you didn't really need a QSS either. Like, you're you're 8 years away from him. He's not gonna, but
yeah,
it happens. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm guessing it's pretty straightforward from here. Gonna win.
Yeah, I think the game is win after that.
Yeah.
The second game is where we lose, I think. I try to just pick one game which is like close and we win, and then one which is close we lose.
Yeah,
I thought this is most realistic.
No, yeah, whether it's a win or loss is not overly important. Like, there's nothing wrong with showing wins as well for coaching. It's mostly about, like, we'll see the same habits in most games. It's pretty rare that someone like, I had one guy who, for some reason, he like really wanted to show me games of him popping off, and his like thing, he was trying to tell me that his teammates were the problem. He was like fucking diamond, like peak, and he was trying to tell me his teammates were so he went like 21-2 in a game or something and lost, and he played horrible, and it was completely his fault that they lost, but he had a good score line, so he was trying to like tell me that, you know, it was his teammates' fault. But yeah, the point is, you're gonna have the same mistakes in most games, even the games where you have a really good score line or whatever. So like, you played really well this game. You're a big reason your team, you know, won, and yet you still have these things to work on. You know, even if you are 12-2,
Yeah,
they're perfectly.
So about
about
the thing you said with the Baron.
Yeah.
So when we have Baron, I even if I have an item in base, I still don't want to recall. I still want to just push.
No, it depends on the situation. So we'll go back here and we'll explain. So obviously your goal with Baron is I'll go back. It's like around, yeah, so it's around here. So obviously your goal with Baron is to push as many turrets as possible. You can't do that if your teammates aren't in a position to push with you. So let's say you just won a really close fight here, you know, at Dragon, hypothetically. They were here, you fought, you guys are 1 HP, you can't really go farther forward. And so you know your teammates are going to recall. Then you'll go farm your blue buff, just your blue buff, not the other camp, just your blue buff, because that'll give you Death Dance. Reset with your team, and then get the lanes pushed out together. So one person's top, one person's bot, 3 are mid, or whatever. The problem is, here, your teammates are continuing to go forward, because Ezreal is dead, you know, all of the enemy are dead basically at this point, and you have the tempo advantage, so you want to push with your team. So right now you can even go and push mid. You know, you get mid pushed out, your teammates are pushing top, or your other teammates pushing bot. So all of the lanes are pushing at the same time. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, you will skip your camps and not recall for your item and base if your teammates are already pushing up and playing for turrets, because you want to be keeping the waves on a line. So you want to be able to draw a line across the map, if you look at my cursor right now, with all the waves. So you want mid wave, top wave, and bot wave to be at the same, you know, kind of point in the lane, because then they'll hit the turrets at the same time. So now the enemy can't just defend their mid turret, they have to defend top, mid, bot all at the same time, which is impossible. But if you do what you did here, you leave, there's no mid pressure. So you see tops getting pressured, bots getting pressured, there's nothing on mid. And then if your teammates do recall, say like how Lysandra recalled, and then say that Pyke and Draven recalled, then you'll recall with them. But when you recall at separate times, now top gets pushed, which that could have been defended by the enemy, since it's the only one that's actually getting pushed. None of the other ones are getting pushed. The enemy just happened to not defend it. And then so now what you have to do is you have to put all your numbers bot. So now you're just stacking all your numbers bot after stacking all your numbers top, which means, again, the enemy, like let's say they had Ziggs or they had Orianna, you know, champions with really good wave clear, it's going to be a lot harder to do anything, and you're going to be stuck on one lane instead of pushing out all the lanes. So basically you want to be pushing you want to be even with your team. So if your teammates are recalling, then you can quickly go farm, and then you can recall as well. But if your teammates are pushing and doing things, as long as you're not 1 HP, obviously, you can go, you know, with your team and everything. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, yeah, everything here, I'm guessing, is easy, so I don't really need to talk about it. We'll see if there's anything. But you get your GA, which is good. Forcing the Baron's fine because their jungler's dead, obviously. Yeah, good win from here, basically.
Yeah, I think it's just a win after. There's nothing happening more.
I mean, somehow you did that dance, unlucky. Yeah, it's good. All right, do you have any questions or thoughts about that before we go into the second game?
No. That was good. I mean, I learned already like a few things. This game I had to have the weak play. I did record it in game, but I couldn't upload it for some reason. It didn't work.
Yeah, it's fine. I coach plenty of people through replays. It's probably more common that it's replays than it is like live recording anyway.
In the replay, I did, like when I cleared camps, I just put it at 2x speed because I assumed it's not gonna matter.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever do this in the future, you don't really need to because I can just skip the replay always. Like I can do this.
Yeah.
But yeah. But you know how to clear. The thing is, like when I coach low elo players, sometimes they don't know how to clear, and I have to tell them. But obviously, you know how to clear camps properly, so there's not really anything that. I mean, you probably. No, I guess you don't have to sweep yet. Yeah, you can wait until after you do this. Did you kill a ward? What?
No.
Why did you level up faster? Because normally the level up is 201. Like I'd like tested in practice tool. Confused. Anything happened? I don't think anything happened. It just
I put a ward at the very start. At the very start, I think Lissandra put a ward into my blue buff.
Oh, okay. I was so confused.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. So this is one thing. Do you know who Corrupt is, by the way?
Yeah. I watch sometimes the stream.
Okay. So one of the main things I learned from Corrupt is like he will often be one of the few players who does 6 camps and then will gank after instead of getting level 5 from Scuttle. And there's a couple of reasons why here, to me, it would make a lot of sense for you to do this. Already the Garen is pretty low health and pushed decently far forward, like if we kind of look at this point. And you would have to sweep, obviously, if you're doing this, right? So that you know that this is here or whatever. But he's already pushed pretty far forward. Your Fiora is fighting. And then you're not going to lose Scuttle because you know Zed started blue because he's Zed. Like Zed always starts blue. So you kind of know that you have some period of time where you can do that and you're going to be pretty safe. And forcing that at this timer means that they're often more worried to push like forward. But if you wait until your red buff comes up, or until your Scuttle comes up rather, and you get level 5, then you kind of give him lots of time to like go back under his turret and recall and kind of be a lot safer. It's still overall is pretty fine here, and I mean I don't mind that you flash to just make sure you get the kill. There's nothing wrong with that. It still works out very well. But the thing I want you to pay attention to is I want you to still realize you can gank before level 5. Obviously, you typically want to gank on level 5, but if you see those angles and you have these reasons like Zed's, definitely started blue buff, or like if it's an Olaf or something, and you know the enemy Garen is pushed pretty far forward, you can usually force things that way as well. Because like basically, if we look at it, all you did was kick him to where he was like basically standing anyways. Like he was already pushed pretty far forward like earlier on in the game.
Yeah, I probably didn't have to use my ult, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Wasted. I could have probably used it here and got my kill instead, but yeah.
I don't really mind using your ult to like make sure you get it though, but you're right, you probably didn't need to. But you kind of want to just make sure. I'm pretty fine with that. And again, this time pathing towards Fiora, it's good because Fiora is strong early game, and because Nyla sucks early game, so you're not really gonna be able to do anything. Garen's obviously hard to gank, so like not the easiest champion to kill, but it's good to path to Garen because Fiora is strong early game. And yeah, Nyla sucks early game, but I just want you to think about the pathing, every game. And when you do start red side, start on the red buff, by the way. Are you aware of why I say to start on the red buff rather than the small camp, or no?
I didn't start on the red side.
No, I'm just giving you this. I don't know if you do when you start on the red side.
You mean if I do, yeah, because then it spawns simultaneously to the other camps.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you're aware of that. And then also some other random things. Again, you might know these. I'm just saying them because a lot of times I tell junglers about them. Are you aware of how long it takes a buff and small camps to respawn after clearing them?
I think it's like 90 seconds, or I'm not sure.
It's 1 minute and
Well,
50 seconds for small camps, so that's
Mhm.
110 seconds. And then 2 minutes and 30 seconds for buffs. So
Okay.
it's roughly that time. Like you could give or take a few seconds, but that's roughly what it is. So it's just an important random thing to kind of know as well, because it helps with jungle tracking, which again I'll also write down. Like basically, so based on the timer on the map, are you aware of where Zed probably is right now?
Um, well, he started where I started, so probably also his red buff is going to be up now. So he's probably also going to be on red side.
So if we look at his blue, he started. So you said he's going to be on red side, right?
Yeah, well, he
So
started same as me on the blue side, so should be same as me right now, probably.
So right now, in terms of when his camps respawned, so he cleared blue into red, then he went back to blue side around 2:30 is when he should. He should go back to red side 3:45, and then blue at 5. So yeah, he's gonna be on red side right now. But what I'm trying to, and like looking at your own camps for reference is like a good start. But sometimes things can be different because of you not clearing camps at a certain time. So basically, if you look at like the specific timers on the map, you can tell when their camps are going to respawn, which just gives you a bit of a better idea of like when you can invade based on when they started, or like which specific camps are up and stuff like that. So I'll write this down for you at the notes. But basically, if you start on blue buff, then you're going to go to red side. Obviously, you can gank red side around 150 to 230. Then around 230 is when your blue side will start respawning again. Then around 320, 330 is when your red side starts respawning, but you don't really go there till like 345 a lot of the times because that's when multiple camps are up and your red's getting closer to spawning. And then you go back to your blue side around 5 minutes. And obviously if you start on red side, it's just you flip it. But this kind of allows you to, again, that's why I asked, like, it's 4 minutes right now, so I can just look at that and be like, okay, this is, you know, he comes back at 2:30, then he goes 3:45, and then he won't go back till 5. So I can just kind of tell him immediately. But looking at your own camps for reference obviously is also like a useful thing to do. But like this is why you could expect he's probably still here, because even though you did come to your blue side since you already cleared red side, his blue side's still not going to spawn for another like 25-30 seconds, so he doesn't have to necessarily, you know, be on blue side yet, even though you did start opposite sides of each other. So knowing those kinds of things as well can be important. You really wanted to gank the nice. That's funny. Probably,
And I kick him away. He doesn't die with me.
That's so unfortunate. But... Did he end up dying? No, he actually did live.
No, he survived.
That's crazy.
I saved him. Very good.
I respect it. Okay, I can hear the German accent now. Because, do you know who Upset is? Have you ever watched like LEC?
No.
Okay, he's like an LEC, which is the League of Legends, like the European league, and he's German. And like the way you said, I forget what word you said, but it was like it sounded just like him, and it was funny to me.
Okay.
Completely random, but I mentioned Upset like every time I coach a German person, so I don't know. It's just
okay. Does it happen often?
I've coached a couple German people, not like a lot, but yeah. I mean, I've coached probably 200 or 300 people, so like, you know, it's been a decent amount of people at this point. Anyways, completely unrelated. Going Herald's good. Your teammate is ahead. Your mid's not here, so again, you kind of want to be like patient here. You don't necessarily need to just go straight in, which you do, right? So again, it's kind of that same thing about being aware of mid. Like if you just play a bit more patient and wait for your mid laner to come, it can be a bit better. It's not bad. You outplay pretty well, but again, like you went in here when like you already kind of have a teammate, you know, pretty low health. Oh, I skipped too far forward or too far back. But you went in when like your teammate's already pretty low health and also probably could walk out at this point. And then if you just wait for your full health Yasuo to come, you know, that 2v3 with full health Yasuo is going to be better than 2v3 with like a half health Fiora, who's kind of like running away and used her cooldowns. So again, it's kind of the mid lane awareness thing. But and also if you kind of just sat there by her, like they would have been scared to go on her fully because you're there. So you might even be able to create 3v3 instead of having to have a 2v3. But, does that make sense? Or?
Yeah, I see.
Oh, unfortunate he didn't get his. I mean, I really don't mind too much how you played the fight. Maybe you could have just farmed your red buff and then played it slower, but honestly, I think it's pretty fine to do what you did. But I would say like in hindsight, it's probably ideal to just farm your red buff there and be patient because you know they're gonna come contest you anyway, so you can kind of like play it slower. But
The thing is, I'm always like trying under all circumstances to get the Herald because I feel like if the enemy team gets it, it's like a lot of value lose. Because like if you lose the mid tower early game, I feel like it's so hard for me to play my jungle because I get invaded a lot then. And
I
it's hard
don't
for my
think it
team
makes
like
it that much harder. I mean, it does give them, access into your jungle, which is like not great, but it's not like they can just start invading you 24/7 if you're rather efficient just because they got mid turret.
I guess like when on top of that, my team is also like behind.
Yeah, like you're not even behind in gold as a team here. Like you're pretty fine, like you're relatively strong. So you're not gonna get invaded 24/7. The time where you're gonna get invaded when your mid turret's dead is when your team's also down 5,000 gold. And everyone can, then they can just invade you for free. But like Zed's not gonna invade you 24/7 at this point in the game just because he has your mid turret. I mean, I agree with you that Herald is super valuable, but it's not so valuable that you should flip a game over it when you can just be patient and then do it anyways, like later, or like contest it later. And also, again, you were always going to get contested on Herald there, so it's not even like it's not like forcing it quicker makes it more likely that you're going to get it. Getting your red buff, playing it slow, and then like waiting, that's going to be more likely to get it anyways. So
yeah. Okay. Also, one question related about items. The enemy has a lot of CC, but also has Z versus ultimate. Should I build Stasis or Quicksilver in this game?
You should probably just get Stasis because your Stasis is still going to help well against like Lissandra, for example. Like even her going on here. So it's still going to be useful. And you can also pretty easily keep track of like Lissandra goes in, wait for her to CC, and then go forward. Whereas Zed ult is like a bit harder to kind of wait out. But also you can get Edge of Night like later, like probably like 4th item, which is gonna help with not being CC'd.
Okay.
I would go Edge of Night probably 4th this game as well. But yeah, I would go Stasis.
Okay.
Though either is really fine. And again, like this isn't, you're not playing this for Dragon, right? Like you're playing for the fight here. This is what you should be concerned about.
I'm not taking it anyways.
Yeah. And this is good because they're just losing mid gold, and but you don't really need to continue going. Yeah, you just kind of like just leave too, I think. Okay, you're kind of mean, not tanking for your teammate there. That was rude. But...
I didn't even see that.
Okay, your teammate walks top, so you don't need to. I was gonna say, like, if your teammate didn't walk top, you would go there. Because you still haven't really gotten a lot of, like, even now, you should be mid-wave. There's a mid-wave and nobody's on it. Your mid-wave is literally, so this is another one of those times where this mid-wave is only gonna be here for, 15 seconds, it'll die then, right? But these camps that you're going to are gonna be there always, most likely. Like, no one's gonna invade you in 15 seconds. So, you get that mid-wave, then you go here, that's 200 free gold. Instead, you're gonna lose out on 200 gold, and now your teammate gets it. And okay, you kind of snipe one of them, so I respect that. But yeah, you can kind of see what I mean about the waves. Oh, and then it goes.
Yeah. I'm not sure why, but YouTube didn't let me upload any video above 15 minutes. I just couldn't.
Yeah, I don't know why. I had something weird where I couldn't upload videos over a certain length when I first started my YouTube channel. And there was some like simple thing I had to do. I don't remember what though, because I started my YouTube channel like 3 years ago. So again, you could just get a bot wave here. Like, you're not gonna go fight this when Dragon is on, or Herald, Baron. Baron is on this side of the map. You're not gonna go like walk all the way top here. You might as well just get a bunch of gold for free, and then wrinkle after. You QSS nothing. Which is just like, what?
Edit again? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know why. I'm so bad at using this item. I don't know why I even buy it.
So QSS did get nerfed, so I think it kind of like low-key sucks now. because
Mm.
now it blocks only for 0.25 seconds instead of 0.75, so it's really
Yeah.
hard to actually react with. It's like cleanse length now. So there's that. But in terms of using things like QSS and stasis, you just simply have to be like, this is the spell I'm going to QSS, or stasis, this is what I'm looking for. Like, you go on to Lysandra, what are you going to QSS? You're obviously going to QSS her ult and her W, right? Like, this is
Well,
pretty...
for some reason I thought that she did use her ult on me. I don't know why, but
I mean, that's just
whatever.
like that happens, you know. Like, to be clear, this is a completely reasonable thing. I've done very similar things, but I'm just saying the spell tracking stuff is how
Mm.
you kind of avoid these, you know, poor usages of something like QSS. But it's inevitably still going to happen. You're not going to always use it perfectly, and sometimes you will just panic. Like, I panic my cleanse very often, so I definitely get it. And yeah, I mean, you're just gonna hope you steal, basically. It's really all you can do here. Okay, it's kind of hard to even queue over the wall with Syra.
Yeah, Syra is such an annoying champion. I
Yeah,
didn't even realize it before.
yeah, her rework was even more annoying. Oh, they didn't do it. That's good. And again, like, you can just get this gold, this wave gold here, like, alongside your teammate, because again, you're like already there.
Mm.
He's not really gonna be that mad at you, and I really doubt he's gonna run the game down. He is doing well though. You're Nyla, so that's another thing.
Yeah,
Like, you
I
definitely want to
thought,
play your fights around Nyla if you can. But
yeah, I thought at this point that we easily win this game because I know like Nyla is like one of the strongest late game scaling champions, but somehow later on she happens to do nothing in the fights at all.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I guess you're just... Is there a reason you
I don't
force
know.
you?
For some reason, I thought Z is on the other side of the map, and I thought we can like quickly take it. But when I saw that he's coming or that he's there, I stopped it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a bad, like, it's whatever. You just lose a little bit of HP. It was kind of random, but I mean, that's actually good. I thought it was bad, but it actually worked out really well.
But we still lose the fight, so I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think how you play fights generally is fine, though. Like, I don't have a lot to say about your fighting itself, because you are mechanically good at, even though you say, like, this isn't even a champ you, like, are insane at, since you play a lot of champs.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm usually trying to look when I draft what I think which champion is like really good into the enemy comp, but I don't know. It's hard for me because sometimes I'm missing the what's called like game knowledge to make good
Yeah.
decisions too. Because probably like they would have been a much better champion here than Lee Sin and the enemy comp, I assume.
Well, what champs do you play?
Like Viego, Hacker, Aatrox, Lee Sin, like kind of all the junglers which are like really good. I
Mm,
usually just look like what like the Chinese or like the top players play, and I just
yeah.
like try to play these champions as well.
Yeah. I mean, Lee Sin's fine here. Of all the champs you listed, like, Lee Sin's one of the better ones. Most would be fine in this game. Hecarim would be good if they didn't have Lysandra, but like Lysandra being able to like CC is kind of annoying, but you can also just buy QSS. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with Lee Sin here.
Mm.
Pretty fine. You're still doing... Oh, another... Oh, the plant blocked your Q.
Yeah, I was so confused there because she should have been dead otherwise.
Yeah. And here again, you're just trying to stall. Like, you don't want to continue going on this fight more because your viewer is top. Obviously, you can, you know, auto attack this guy, but like, you're really just trying to stall. But yeah, obviously, I mean, it's kind of... Luckily, he didn't kill. I would have sucked. No, yeah, now she TP's in.
Wasn't this like a huge misplay from the Fiora?
What?
The Fiora, she TP'd into the fight, but shouldn't she have continued like pushing top wave for the turret?
It's pretty fine. She already got pressure top,
Okay.
and someone's gonna eventually probably end up covering her. I mean, she could have probably gotten top turrets. Like, I think it's better for her to stay top for longer. She didn't really need a TP in here, but it's not like a troll play or something. It's like fine. And then here, I kind of just want you like pressuring bot instead of sort of forcing this pretty hard. because the enemy still have
Okay.
their jungler up, and Zyra can kind of fuck you here, and it's like you just get bot pushed out and make them kind of come into you, or like pressure even mid here. Like even now, just go mid. You know, you can just go and pressure mid right now, and the enemy have a hard time walking at you. Instead, you're starting a fight in their jungler, in their jungle. Can't say words. And yeah, this is where Nyla ends. So that's just unfortunate. But again, like the fight setup is just awkward. Like you're just you were just walking straight into a choke point into them. So you can see, even though yes, like this are your teammates getting caught by this Zyra ult, this is your lack of proper preparation, which would be just pressuring mid and making them come into you mid, because you're encouraging this kind of fight, and then again your teammates are obviously not going to play well because they're Wild Rift players.
So basically, when the Baron is up, in these situations, I can just look to push one of the lanes which are close to it, so the enemy has to like.
Respond.
I mean,
Yeah.
what kind of like here in this perfect situation, what would be like the winning idea, kind of that I try to like make them leave the Baron, or I
So
don't
the
know how,
reason
like,
you're
how to play
pushing the
this
mid
fight.
wave is to get control of multiple different choke points that the enemy have to walk through. So if you're on mid wave right now, the enemy have to come into you, right? And then
Okay.
they come into you, they clear the mid wave. Now you walk into this bush or into this jungle, and now they have to again walk into you. So then it's good, and you're just playing this game where they have to walk into you over and over, and then you're going to use sweeper or whatever to kill their wards, and eventually they're going to be like, are they on Baron? Or, you know, you're going to just find like an angle, because right now, like say that you pushed mid, and then they came to mid, and then you walked where you are right now. They could you could come and you know, sneak on them from this bush, from this bush. You could go from this area over the wall. Like you could even have someone finding a a flank here, depending on the situation. You have a lot of angles. But what you end up doing leads to, they all know you're here. You start Baron, so you get lower health as well. And then you walk at them, you walk into them all through one choke point into a champion like Zyra, which obviously is going to lead to something like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, generally you want to start these fights and set them up through waves and then drag people across different waves until you find an angle. That's typically what is most beneficial. Oh, that's unfortunate. But, yeah. And now from this point, the game, it seems, will end pretty quickly. So.
Yeah, I think that losing that Baron probably was the end. Well, actually, I thought here that Fiora could end the game, but she lost the 1v1 against Jhin.
Oh yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Actually, never mind. Like here, I die, and I think that's why we lose probably as well.
I
Because
mean,
if I
you
don't
were
die,
already
maybe
in
we
a
can,
bad
like,
spot, but obviously this is a. I mean, it just didn't really make sense for you to W over the wall like this. Like, being kind of where you are is fine, but like using your W when it's your only like kind of safe mobility spell at this point because you don't have flash is weird. And you also QSS again when his Zed goes on you, which is just funny. Like you do that a lot. The panic QSS.
Can you not, if he goes onto you and you QSS, can you not like block his ultimate somehow?
Oh.
His damage?
No.
Well, no, you cannot.
No, unless
but you can but cleanse can, right? If his Zed goes onto you and you cleanse, like also not? Okay,
I don't think so.
I
mean, like,
just
okay,
thought for
I
some
could
reason
be
that you
entirely
can.
wrong, but I'm like pretty sure that's not how that works. Because why would you ever buy stasis then? Like, it would just not make sense.
Okay, maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. I just for some reason thought that I could like block it somehow.
I am pretty sure you can, but I mean, obviously you can test it, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But yeah. Okay. So I'll share. Well, you already see my screen. We're gonna write notes. So yeah, basically, as I'm writing the notes for you, if anything I say doesn't make sense, you have questions or you know whatever, let me know. But we're pretty much just gonna go throughout the two games. So we'll start with the early game of the first game. So the first thing is just the do not last hit with smite. Your camps with smite on your first clear. Because for the faster level up, again, I have no idea why it's like this, but it is. Then path towards stronger laner. Laner with better gank setup. And enemy laner who's easier to kill. So obviously you can't always get all three of these, but you're trying to get as many of these things as possible. You know, the easier to kill one, the stronger laner, whatever. Like, again, starting your red buff to path towards the Pike Draven, that type of thing, kind of understanding how you're going to win the game. Because I don't think if you envision that game, the way you win is your set gets a lead on Mundo and then 1v9s, but your Draven snowballing through winning his early game matchup with a Pike, like, that's obviously how you're going to win most games with that comp. It's you and obviously Lee Sin plus them kind of snowballing together and making plays. So we want to just think more about those kinds of things. And then kind of a similar thing is like alter your pathing to get to play around them more. So you remember when you had your 3 red side camps up, but you recalled then did your red side camps, so then you were around the set for longer when you could have just done your red side camps, then gone straight back to blue side. So basically just spend more time around your stronger laners early.
So that I can counter gank also if the jungler comes, right? Okay.
Yeah, you can counter gank as well, or you can set up the gank yourself depending on what shows up. Either is fine. One other thing I was going to say in regards to the early game, now I'm trying to think about. Oh, it's just the opposite side thing. It's not even just early game, it's just in general. So win behind, try to play on the opposite side of the enemy jungler. Jungle can artificially create, I don't know how to say this properly, like artificially create situation where enemy jungle is on opposite side. So what I mean by this is like, I told you to stay on your top side for longer even after you killed your top side camps, and I told you to try to look for that Herald, you know, tier 2 turret, for example. Like those kinds of things, where you can just create an angle where you're kind of away from the enemy jungler. So then also take more waves, more side lane waves, especially when nobody is covering. Because the side lane wave is worth even a little more than a camp, roughly a camp. So anytime you can get a wave and you skip one camp for it, that's worth it, because your camp again is usually going to not die, whereas that wave will die after a certain period of time. There's that. Just general like spell tracking and fight. Oh, playing around mid is probably a bigger thing. I'll write spell tracking, but this isn't like a huge issue for you, but it's something, you know, with some of your QSS usage and whatever. But
yeah,
pay more attention to mid lane rotations early, both in terms of your own mid laner and the enemy mid laner. Multiple times the Twisted Fate kind of screwed you over in the first game, and also you not paying attention to your own Lissandra's ability to rotate and being patient, kind of playing around that. Could have been more effective, because again, that Lissandra was kind of the one person who was relatively competent on your team, so you want to play more around that, especially when they're roaming mid laners like Lissandra, Echo, whoever. Yeah, early game, those are probably the main things. The other thing is the Herald stuff. Like, do not need to hard force Herald. It is better to get, but don't take bad fights for it. Like, there's no reason to lose the game over Herald, even though it is strong and it is better. Sometimes getting a dragon, like, if you trade dragon for Herald, you're not like, holy shit, I lost the game. You're like, oh, they probably got a 55% chance and I have a 45%. Like, you know, that's like the play, like how good it is. It's like, it's a small difference. Herald doesn't give an insane amount of gold or anything, because it doesn't, you know, take plates anymore, for example. So it's just not, yeah, it's not something you have to over force, but obviously, yeah, you do want to prioritize it when possible. But again, you're strong. Yeah, go ahead.
And about the Herald, if I can, I always want to look to get a tier 2 tower with it instead of the tier 1, right?
So what you're typically looking for from your Herald drop is to get something else out of it other than just it taking the turret itself, if you're taking a tier 1. So taking a tier 1, you can use it for a dive, for example. Like, say bot turret is 1500 health, you drop it and then you get a dive from it as well, because like the turret dies, so you kill the guy. That's good. Or you get a tier 2, because getting a tier 2 is better. So yes, like either a tier 2 or a dive, or you get mid turret, right? Obviously mid turret's quite good as well. But in terms of like priority, I would say, yeah, like tier 2 is best, then a side lane with a dive, and then mid lane. Like, that's how I would prioritize it. But getting the tier 2 is not going to happen all the time, because to get the tier 2 you have to know where the enemy jungler is, and you want to do it away from the enemy jungler. So don't like overforce it, but the biggest thing is to be patient with Herald, with dropping Herald. Like, take advantage of the recall, you know, the faster recall, and actually, you know, like, wait till you have a decent moment to drop it. And then if, say it's like half life, like it's gonna, you know, it's like the timer is halfway. By that point, then you can kind of be like, okay, I'm just gonna drop it wherever I can get a hit on a turret. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What other things do you remember anything specifically that we talked about, or anything? I'm trying to think.
I mean, the main things that I learned right now, I would say, is for sure the wave thing. That probably also helps me get more gold per minute, which is probably going to make a big impact. And then the thing you said about playing around my stronger or my better laners. Because I never really pay attention to that, but I guess I have to start doing that.
Yeah, and I just think in general, awareness of team and fights, like awareness of team location. That's really just kind of, like, you're not paying enough attention to where your teammates are. You're kind of just playing the fights out, like whatever's good for you without keeping track of other stuff. Yeah, pathing around your stronger laner, that type of thing. I'm trying to look through because I have, so this is I told you about the timers of like jungle. I write them for a lot of people, so I'm just going to write them here as well. But yeah, so it's basically what I described to you. If the enemy jungler starts certain side, they'll gank at here and blah, blah, blah. So that's really all I can think of. Do you have any other questions or anything before we end the coaching?
No, I don't think I have.
Then I'll send these to you. I'll probably upload the video tomorrow. Yeah, see you later. Good luck.
All right. Thank you very much.